Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I just want to thank you, first of all, for your hospitality. Thank you, Candy, for that, all of that. That was really wonderful. What comes next in our service is a children's message, but it is for kids of all ages. So one question I didn't ask is that, do you all consider yourselves children of all ages?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Well, I came prepared. Made me nervous for a second, but I came prepared. And I like having this because I can walk around a little bit. I'm just not in front of that, which I almost did. Just bear with me. I have to get the electronics. People think it's the sermon that's the hard part. The technology is the hard part. So what we're going to be focusing on today in the sermon, we're going to be talking about salt, and we're also going to be talking about stumbling blocks. And the question that I have for you this morning is, who here remembers, and I can use this a little bit differently, but who remembers the first time they drove a car, or they learned to drive? Riding a bike. Anybody remember learning to walk? I will be in awe of you if you do. But in all of those things, when you learned to drive, did you just read the manual and just go right out and start driving and everything was perfect? The 3-point turn, which was one of my favorites. Making left-hand turns, right-hand turns, knowing the rules of the road, did all of that come naturally and immediately to you? Of course not. And the reason why we are talking about salt and stumbling blocks, especially the stumbling blocks, is that there are those times in our life. Sorry. I'm just going to hold this. There are times in our life when we're challenged with things. We don't know how to do something. Whether it's applying for a specific program, even applying for work, learning the ins and outs of being a professional person, learning how to take care of a home, learning how to take care of a family. And we learn all of those things from our families and from the people that cared for us. But there are going to be those times when things come into our lives that challenge us, that challenge our faith even. And those things are going to happen. That's what happens in this earthly world that we live in. And but as we move along and we journey with God, the thing that we know for sure is that God is going to be with us no matter what. And the journey of discipleship, and we're going to be talking about that probably as much as anything today, but the journey of discipleship is not one where you start out knowing all of the answers. You start out in the journey of discipleship not really knowing any of the answers, but looking to God and to Jesus for those answers and how you can live into your discipleship in your daily life, in your daily walk. So as we move forward in worship, and just as we go forth even from this worship service this morning, just keeping that close to us, that idea that we don't have to have all the answers, we just have to know where all of the answers are, and that's with God and with Jesus.